Hey everyone, I just want to say something before the video starts. This is a repost from the main channel video. It's a video from 2016, and as you can see, it's about my manga collection. Back when the video came out, 4 years ago now, or the channel rather, had like around 600 subscribers, so that was just before the channel actually got any traction at all. The main reason I re-uploaded it here on this channel is because I want to actually start talking about stuff like anime and manga, maybe occasionally here and there. There isn't really any schedule, I just want to, throw that stuff in here and there. One of the reasons is because, well, I want to do it. And the second is because the channel, actually let me show you here. The second channel is, oh wow, that's much closer than the last time I saw it. Yeah, you need a certain amount of public watch hours as well as subscribers before you are considered, for monetization. And when you look at the videos that are on the channel, yeah. So if I maybe throw in some, some other stuff here and there that's still kind of related to what we're doing here, not only would that make it fun, but then maybe YouTube won't be totally disgusted with me. That video has like 2,000 views on the main channel, so I don't think many people have seen it. But, it's cool if you did, it's cool if you haven't. It's mostly up to date. I have some stuff in my collection now that that's not on there. I've got like some Senran Kagura stuff, I'm pretty sure more Strike Witches things too. I don't know, it's 4 years old. A lot of stuff can happen in 4 years. But yeah, that's that. Enjoy this sort of, pilot episode, you could say, for this type of content, and enjoy the rest of the video. Hey everyone, something a little different today. I thought it would be cool to have a little look through my manga collection. It's not huge or anything, just something I've acquired over the last couple of years. I've been meaning to do manga-related videos, so might as well get started with one. Leave a like or let me know in the comments if you want manga-related videos in the future. I'll do some more if there is enough of a good reception. I'm going to start with my first manga purchase, though the rest of the list isn't going to be in any particular order. Keon. I'm a big fan of the Keon anime. It's a slice-of-life manga that follows 4 and later 5 girls who are part of the Light Music Club. To me, it's just the right combination of cuteness, humor, relaxation, and nostalgia. The manga, despite being the original work, doesn't feel as fleshed out as the anime, mostly because of the 4-panel style layout, but I still like reading through it. Keon seriously has the best cover design of any manga ever, I think. The colors are nice and bold, and it's easily recognizable on the shelf. A lot of manga cover art can be desaturated and washed out, or just too cluttered, though that's not always a bad thing either. I've got the complete set here, with the original 4 volumes and the high school and college spin-offs. I can't say that I dig the spin-offs all that much. To me, slice-of-life anime and manga is at its best if the characters live and function inside a bubble of sorts, like they're in their own little worlds. When the characters get split up, the bubble bursts and the comfort of familiarity goes away, and what's left is a yearning for better times. Next up is Spice and Wolf. I love the anime, so I thought the manga would be worth having too. Eventually, I got the light novels as well. I seriously love everything about the series. As of this video, there are 12 volumes of the manga released, and I've got 10 myself. I haven't had the time to read through all of them yet, though. You might notice that I accidentally bought 2 copies of Volume 5 because I'm an idiot. Some of the volumes are still wrapped in plastic even. The reason they're shrink-wrapped is because this manga is for mature audiences only. Oh my god, nipples, those could be damaging to our youth. For the love of God, we need to seal these up and throw warning labels on them ASAP. Hello? The light novels don't show nipples, so no warnings required here. The light novel is up to 17 volumes, and I have 14. I'm not very far into the novels either, but I'm going to dedicate some time to reading this Christmas season. I like the novels the most, actually, but I'm glad I exposed myself to the anime and manga first. When I read the novels, my mind fills with excellent music from the anime, and images conjured up by my mind are based on the beautiful art of both the anime and the manga. Speaking of art, the covers of the manga and novels look just great. They are done by different artists. As you can see, the manga is more vivid with strong colors, while the light novel is more muted, soft, and dreamlike. Strawberry Panic. I actually never read this at all, to be honest. I think I bought it with a chapters gift card I got on Christmas, or maybe my birthday or something. I know it's a Yuri thing, but that's about it. Maybe one day I'll read it. Would be a bit of a waste if I didn't. I like when the Japanese combine unlikely things together. That's precisely why I have a fascination with the Strike Witches series. Take World War II aces, turn them into girls with magical abilities, give them airplane legs, and don't have them wear any pants. It's pretty ridiculous, but despite the strange premise, I like that great care is taken into, crafting proper storylines and keeping things in line with historical events. Strike Witches is a multimedia project, so there's manga, anime, and light novels. I have the is it Fuso or Fuzo Sea Incident mangas. The story is told from Mio's point of view, and it takes place before the anime, so it's cool that you can kind of get a backstory on the character there. Hello! I also have a couple of semi-official doujinshi. No, it's not hentai. These doujinshi focus on other aspects of the Strike Witches universe not touched on in the original anime. I have Witches of Africa and the Witches of the Sphinx. They are both in Japanese and English. How cool is that? And the form factor is nice and big and easy to read. I also have an art book which emulates a photo album in a way. The stories in here are a bit more serious than in the anime, which I like. But I have to say what I would really like is if they localized the light novels. I enjoyed reading the fan translation, but they aren't really complete, which is a bit of an issue. But for now, I guess I'll just continue watching Brave Witches. More 4-panel goodness. It's Azumanga Dayo. I think that's how it's pronounced. I have the fat-ass version, as I like to call it. Look at this beast. I really like the humor in this. It can get quite surreal, especially whenever Chiyo's dad is involved. Also, if you've ever wondered where the whole my waifu thing comes from, it's from Azumanga Dayo. If by chance you are a German speaker or just a German understander, then I would highly recommend the German dub of the anime. It's very good, with Yukari Sensei's voice actor being the highlight, I think. Speaking of not English, I own the not English versions of the manga as well. I always smile when I read this. Like Keon, it reminds me of simpler times. The form factor does make this a bit hard to read, though. I mean, look at it. You haven't lived until you tried reading it by holding it over your head while you're lying down and dropping the thing on your face. It doesn't hurt as much as a tablet, though. Alright, more slice of life. This time it's Lucky Star. I only have the first 2 volumes, sadly, mainly because Bandai, I think that's how you pronounce it, stopped publishing manga here. I do have later volumes as ebooks, but it's not the same. It does mean I'm able to read them on the toilet at work, though, so that's cool. I like Lucky Star mainly for the wacky conversations the characters have. Unlike some other slice of life things where I'm not really too receptive of, having characters introduced and all that, Lucky Star actually has a lot of different characters being introduced as the story goes on, and I actually like it. So, while Lucky Star and Keon remind me of the good high school times, Watamote reminds me of the bad times. Watamote is the short Japanese name. In English, it's longer. Anybody who's ever felt uncomfortable in any sort of social situation is going to be able to relate to the main character, Tomoko. If you can't, then congratulations, your high school life didn't suck giant ball sacks. This manga, and anime for that matter as well, makes me laugh, but also makes me feel embarrassed, and I can't help but cringe a lot of the time. Sometimes I have to look away because I can't take it. It's like every awkward moment I've ever experienced is combined into one horrific moment. I have to be in the right mood to read this. Mental preparation is a requirement. This is the reason I only have 1 volume at the moment. But it's so good. It's just the fact that it can conjure up such emotions makes Watamota incredible for me. On a lighter note, love Hina. This is the grandfather of all harem comedies, I'm sure. At least some of you have heard of it, if you actually read manga, and you probably are, or else you wouldn't be this far into the video. It's just basically a consistently good time. It's funny, wacky, and strange, and there's fan service, which is always a good combination. All of the volumes I have were purchased used from all kinds of different sources. Now, I do have all of the volumes of this, but I can't find all of them. I think there's a box of manga I can't find somewhere in the house. Makes you wonder if I'm missing anything else. I also enjoy the author's later works like Negima and UQ Holder, but there are so many volumes, I just don't have the space for those. Speaking of harem comedies, here's a bit of a more generic one, Omamori Himari. The reason I bought the first volume of this is a bit strange. I saw it sitting on the shelf in chapters, and I dared myself to buy it because at the time I was a little shy buying anime and manga-related things, as I'm sure many people are. And I kind of just wanted to get over my embarrassment. I think I bought something else with it too. You know, it's similar to those guys who really want to buy the new Neptunia or Senran Kagura game, but they're really afraid of being judged, so they also buy Call of Duty or some sort of shooting game as well with it. So when the cashier asks you about the anime game, you can say, "Oh, I'm just picking it up for someone else. Call of Duty is what I came here for." But it's no use. The cashier knows. Customer service people always know. When I did end up buying later volumes, the girl at the till actually commented on it. She told me she looked into some of the mangas I bought because they seemed interesting, and she found some new ones because of me. That was a pretty good boost to my self-confidence there. So overall, I found the manga to be average to good, but attached with it is a good memory. I have 2 volumes of the Disgaea manga. I haven't read this yet, though. I bought them along with a couple of volumes of Spice and Wolf from a friend. I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet, that's all. Alright, this is one of my favorite pick-me-ups. The Melancholy of Haruhichan Suzumiya. It's a spin-off from the Haruhi Suzumiya series where the characters are crazy and over-the-top versions of themselves. It's ridiculously over-the-top fun. The anime is just as good. Obviously, you'll have to be familiar with the main series, or else nothing is going to make any sense. Kanagi is a manga that I enjoy because its plot is fantastical without being too far off the deep end. Kanagi follows the story of Jin, a high school boy, and Nagi, a goddess, who is awakened by Jin. Despite being a goddess, Nagi comes across as more of an eccentric girl. Overall, it's a bit of a romantic comedy kind of thing, but there is an element of mystery as well as Nagi discovers who and what she is throughout the story. The art style looks almost exactly like Keon, which I thought was funny. This is another one of those mangas that was published by Bandai, like Lucky Star was. I don't think any other publisher picked it up after that, sadly. Next up is Yatsuba, or is it Yatsubato? According to Wikipedia, it is anyways. I didn't know that's how you pronounce an ampersand. But however it's pronounced, I'm a big fan of it. It's thoughtful, lighthearted, and makes you appreciate the details in life that are often overlooked. It's done by the same person who created Azumanga Dayo, so the style of humor can be similar at times. The story follows a strange young girl, Yatsuba, who has interesting interpretations of regular everyday happenings, as well as her dad and their neighbors. In a weird way, I found Yatsuba's way of dealing with everyday life comparable to Mr. Bean. Both take regular situations and give them weird spins by completely handling everything in an unorthodox manner. Though while Mr. Bean can be mean-spirited and occasionally slightly dark in humor, Yatsuba never goes that direction. For some reason, I only have 2 volumes here, but I know I have 3, 4, and 5 somewhere. I'm sure there's a box of manga still unaccounted for. Last on the list, but not in my heart, is Sayonara Satsubo-sensei. I love this series. It's so wonderfully thought out and strange, and the art style is just as unique as the manga is. With Setsubo-sensei, I can live out my fantasy of ranting about all kinds of different things that annoy me in my daily life. The main character is Nozomu, who is a high school teacher, and he teaches a class of very eccentric, mostly female students who have extremely exaggerated character traits. Usually he'll talk about something in his life that annoys him, and the students keep discussing the topic until everything degenerates into chaos or contradicts the main point entirely. Some of the jokes are very punny, which can't be properly translated into English all the time. The back of the book has an entire section dedicated to explaining the various jokes, which I think is just funny in itself. The covers look great also, and they have a very traditional look to them, like a bit of like a watercolor kind of thing, so they're a bit desaturated, but in a good way. Anyone following the series, and anyone who isn't completely dense, will know that behind all the silliness, there's a lot of dark undertones to Zetsubou-sensei. The ending is such a twist, and it makes you want to reread everything again, and rewatch the anime as well. All those crazy opening and closing sequences suddenly start to make sense. Yeah, and that's it. Turned out to be a bit of a longer video. At least the script is a couple of pages longer than what I would do for a video game review. If you enjoyed all of this manga talk, leave a like and a comment, please. That's the best way for me to see if you enjoyed it or not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.